All right, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac here on 1010XL's podcast platform, 1010XL.com, the 1010XL app, live on my Facebook, also being recorded here, so we'll share it out there to YouTube, Spotify, you name it, wherever you watch, wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. You can do it right there. This show always goes to TommyMac.net, so if you ever miss a show or you want to see the horse's mouth, and I'm doing a celebrity version. Like, I got all these celebrities that I've been through. We're going to put a category. We're going to put just them, from Baselli on the Navy ship to all types of coaches, players, musicians, fighters. I mean, just, it's been unbelievable, the amount of celebrity types that have run through the horse's mouth. And you can find it all at TommyMac.net. Brought to you by Team Tommy Mac. Each and every show, man. I love representing all these great businesses. You can see them as well at TommyMac.net. Grammage is not here. Grammage is in Las Vegas. So what is it? 6 o'clock. I would imagine he's sleeping. But, you know, these young kids, I don't know. When you were 24 and 25 years old, did you go to sleep in Vegas? I went to Vegas. Yeah, you know, that's a good one. I went to Vegas. I think I told you I talked about meeting Slash in Vegas. That was during 1997 when I was on IR and the team was in Dallas. I don't even know if Coughlin knew they let me go, but they let me go. It was all legit. I went to the trainers. That's what you did. If you had good rapport to the trainer and he knew you were going to take care of yourself, he's like, yeah, don't worry about it. Go have fun. Just be careful and yada, yada. You're not doing anything anyway. You've done all your rehab, that kind of stuff. But I don't know if we went to bed. I can't remember if we did or not. That was so long ago, but I'm sure they are having a great time for his bachelor party weekend and March Madness. What a great time. They love college hoops. I didn't watch, wait, you know what? I did. I watched, I'm thinking back, like, what did I do last night? I did watch a little bit. Oh gosh, I can't remember what game it was. It was a Kansas game. They went down, of course. They got taken down. Clemson gets taken down. Missouri taken down. I like it. Look, I like the upsets now, don't you? I mean, opening round, Thursday, Friday, you like the upsets. And then as you get close, you still like the upsets. Will there be a Cinderella team? I don't know. I hope there is. Normally, that's a fun part of the whole tournament. I will start watching. I'm probably going to watch the Florida game. I don't know. I know Florida's good this year. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. I really could give two shits if they win or not. Sorry about the language. I'm not really on a Friday, but I don't care if they win or not. But who else am I going to root for? Boston College ain't in there. There's nobody local that's in there, right? I want to see, that'd be cool if they win another one. They've got a really good team. I can't break them down. I won't, but I'll probably watch them tonight. Trying to talk the wife to going out a little bit tonight. Maybe end up at Monkey's Uncle. They should have a great band. By the way, next Saturday night, Dad Bod's playing at the local in Neptune Beach. So stay tuned for that. And hopefully next week, I can't say it will be. I don't know yet. But my original song will be out. And I can't wait for you to share it to everybody out there. Lots to get into today. Some news and notes around the National Football League. We're going to talk a little draft. We're going to talk a little Jags, of course, like we always do. I was thinking, okay, so year one of the new regime, right? You can't have everything you want in year one. I think it's almost near impossible. Maybe it's not, but I think Beef Hollis, my friend Beef Hollis up in Michigan, we call him Beef Hollis because of a Key West trip, and he was the only non-football player. I'm like, you're the kicker, man. You're Beef Hollis. We call him Beef anyway, and then he just became Hollis. But I thought, like, okay, so you can't, with how many draft picks, which we have plenty, cap, contract, you can't get rid of everybody, and you can't replace them with everybody. So you gotta pick and choose, which they are doing. I saw a really interesting mock today, and I really liked it, man. And we traded up in the first round to get it. We gave up both thirds and the second to go up and get this pretty massive defensive tackle out of Oregon, whoever that is. But they addressed offensive tackle and defensive tackle. And I think that's the way to go with those early picks, man. And then you can go from there. Maybe even add another offensive lineman. There's not a lot of interior. I told you yesterday or on Tuesday, the groupings This is great for our Jags, right? So now, granted, it's one outlet, CBS Sports. I really like. I don't know. I get a lot of information out of them. I go to ESPN. I go to Pro Football. I go to Twitter. I get a lot out of Twitter. No doubt about it. It's great early in the morning when nobody's up and I'm drinking my coffee. But what the needs we need here in Jacksonville and what's out there and how they're ranked. It kind of matches up really well, right? Defensive tackle, 3 in the top 32, 14 in the top 100. Edge, same deal on both counts. Offensive tackle, 5 in the top 32 and 12. And then DB, corner, 10 in the top 100. Wide receiver, 10 in the top. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be picks for us. So what do you do? Now, I will say, the draft, the mock to trade up cost a lot. I mean, it costs the rest of your second and your 2 third-round picks to move up. So that would be interesting. I tell you, look, Mason Graham, I think he looks the part. I mean, he does. I'm just a little concerned that he gets overwhelmed at the next level. But that doesn't mean he will. I'm not an expert on that. We all know that. I mean, he's got violent hands. That's one thing that you watch Donald, man. He's got strength. He benches with ridiculous bencher and, so athletic, so strong. But man, and a quick movement. But his hands, you gotta whack those hands down, man. Once you get the hands off, you most of the time you have your way with that lineman. So that's a really big thing. You watch Braden Fisk, his hands and the hips. And by the way, Mason Graham, a wrestler as well. Those wrestlers are tough as nails, man. You don't want to mess with a wrestler. That's the last fighter out there in the street you want to mess with, in my opinion. And jiu-jitsu, because they'll snap your arm off or something, which I just don't really want to ever be in that position. I'm not a good wrestler. I don't want to wrestle. I don't want to do any jiu-jitsu or anything like that. I don't want to do anything. I just want to have fun and have a good time. But knowing that, I mean, he knows leverage, he knows pad level, and that type of thing. But we're going to go through some scenarios because, look, if you had to pick, right, you can't do everything year one. So who do you roll with? The current O-line without adding, which you're going to add. I don't know if it's first pick, but you're going to add. Or is it that first rollout of the defensive line? With Josh and Eric and Mason and Trayvon. You know what I mean? And that's formidable. There's no doubt about it. You're going to add to, like I said, in the position groupings on Tuesday just now, it's deep in the position groups that we need. Offensive line, defensive line, corner, wide receiver. Excuse me. If we get those at a high level, productive, starting, really good. I don't care if there's, I shouldn't say I don't care. I expect the top guy, the number 5 pick overall, if they stay there, to be as good as Brian Thomas Jr., like in that level. But I don't expect all, but just to be really good starters, really good players. I tell you one thing I'm seeing across the board with the offensive line that they brought in, the offensive linemen that they brought in, all have one thing in common, if not more than one thing, but one thing that stood out to me, and it's nastiness. They taught finishing blocks, physical, nasty, like Macari, nasty. You hear Hainsey, you hear Gladstone talk, he finished blocks, right? The guy we just got, the former Gator, James, he nasty, just wants to get after people. So again, I'm just telling you, I don't have any inside info. It's just common sense. You got to earn this job at O-line. I don't think Ezra's set in stone. I like Ezra. I don't think he's set in stone. I don't think Walker's set in stone. Anton, I don't know. And what if they think about Anton? What if they went right tackle, like a starting caliber right tackle, and moved Anton to left like he's supposed to naturally be able to play? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe there's a couple of scenarios, and that's the beautiful thing about if you're the Jags and where you're at in the draft and what you have as draft capital, as they say. The needs and the position groups, right? Yeah, you need interior, but guess what? They've handled that. If the kid from Alabama, Booker, falls in the second round and you're there and he's there and there's nobody else that you don't have, you know what I mean? Okay, maybe, but there's not many interior offensive linemen that's graded very high. There's 4, I think, 2 out of the top 100. Think about it, 2 compared to 14, 12, 10, and 10, those positions I read off earlier. So which way do you go? Do you roll? I don't know. I mean, what does common sense tell you? We got to protect Trevor. Whatever it takes to make Trevor better. Yes? You know what I mean? And not a maybe. Not like, well, we're going to see. I mean, we still are, regardless who they bring in. But more like we already know. You know what you get out of Walker. Now, you know how I feel about Walker. I always feel like I'm not picking on him. He's got so much talent. If he would just light the fire and get mean and nasty, he could be really good. I've said it before. But I don't know if he gets there. I don't know if it's in his disposition. Doesn't mean he still can't be a productive left tackle. But what I personally want, I want an animal out there. I want a gifted ballerina, big as a grizzly bear, mean as a snake on the field. Will do whatever it takes to protect the QB. Nobody hits my QB late. An enforcer, a run-blocking machine. I mean, is that too much to ask? I know we haven't had that in a long time. But interesting, the good point is, and it's positive, like there's so many different ways that they can go and the way this draft could fall to them. And they got so many picks. And do they trade up? I don't know. Listen, if you handle O-line, D-line, starters, right? Or at least in the rotation on D-line, but starter on O-line, great. I mean, come on. It's fantastic. There's no doubt about it. You're going to add to that, but I'll take that all day long. And however that works out, like I said, there's a lot of fingers and ways that can go. Look, I don't know. I look at our D-line, like I said, that 4. And you want to add to it. I want to see more out of Jordan Jefferson. I don't think Jordan Jefferson's on the nose type defensive tackle. He's more of a 3 technique. Well, we've got some 3 techniques. But we're only going to have Eric for another year, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe he extends or whatever. You got Mason Smith, who we all believe could be a really good 3 technique. He could. I mean, he could be one. He's got a ways to go. He's got to stay lower. His conditioning's probably got to be a lot better. And I think with this staff, this team will be well conditioned. It will be. You have to be. You have to be. And you know what? Maybe over time, when they earn your trust and vice versa, you let them do it on their own. But not when you first come in. You gotta run them. You got to make sure not only, you know how I feel about the mental side. They got to know everything. They got to hold them accountable for everything. But you got to be conditioned, man. And look, a lot of guys will do it on their own, no doubt. But I don't know, man. I think Liam and company is going to be like, hey, let's run them. Let's get these guys. Because I know how my team would be. You'd be in the best shape of your life. And if you weren't, we're going to have a problem. Because I'm running you. So you better, whatever you're doing off the field, you better slow it down because you're going to be running and those lungs are going to be pumping along with the heart. Looks like the Texans made a couple moves. Interesting enough. You know what? I was going to write this on Twitter, but my older brother Mike said to me a long time, he's like, just remember, text, anything written down, it's forever. Now this is too because it's recorded. So maybe I shouldn't, but it has something to do with Texans and sloppy seconds, if you know what I mean. I know guys will laugh, girls will be like, ew, that's disgusting, sorry. Cam Robinson, Captain Kirk, Christian Kirk now, and Darby all on their way to the Houston Texans. Hey, how about this, Jacksonville? Stephon Diggs, healthy, got to be healthy, no doubt about it. What would he bring to the table? Would that solidify or satisfy your appetite for something like that? We're not counting on Gabe Davis. We're hoping for a good Gabe Davis. We're hoping they can light a fire under him. He's got to get back to being listen, I liked him at Buffalo. I don't know how he was as a blocker, and I'm not a Bills fan, so I don't, watch every game. But I tell you what, he was scoring touchdowns. He was getting down the field. He was impressive. Not a ton of catches. It wasn't like I think he made 50, some of 40, 50 in that range. But they felt like they were prominent type catches, like really helping the team out and making big plays. But we didn't see that. We saw it early. Remember that? Was it the first game? He had like 3 completions, him and Trev. And it was going well. It seemed well. And then, I don't know, it just kind of went south. Kept dropping balls. And then he got hurt, obviously. So hopefully he can come back healthy. But what about Stephon Diggs? He's taking laps around the NFL free agency market. He's a guy that can still, if healthy, that's obviously that goes with any of these veterans, goes with any of the rookies too. You got to be healthy in order to move that along. Texans also give Danielle Hunter a 1 year, $35.6 million extension. He will make $32 million in 2025. He was fifth in the league in sacks with 12. One of the best. Him and Josh Hines-Allen, they're right there. I tell you what, if you're Trayvon Walker, all you're focusing on is your game, your team and your game. You keep evolving. Look out, world. Look out. And I know a lot of people think that he can play inside. I think so too. I just wouldn't want to use him on running downs over time inside. I wouldn't. On passing downs, for sure. Get him on a guard all day long. Center, guard, whatever you want. I would do that all day, no doubt. You know what I'd put Devin Lloyd on the outside. I'm telling you, they got to give that guy some opportunities out there. I think that's what he did. That's what he did in college. Let's see him do it here. I think he can rush on the inside too, but nonetheless, it looks like Danielle Hunter getting a big extension. The Vikings are going to stick with J.J. McCarthy over Aaron Rodgers. That's the word. Can we stop with the A-Rod? It's already Alex Rodriguez. Is there another A-Rod other than Alex Rodriguez? Other than people shoving this down our throats now with Aaron Rodgers? I don't know. For me, I got to like you to give you a nickname. And I don't dislike Aaron. I do think he's a little bit misperceived, maybe, or however that, I don't know what word I'm looking for. But after watching that documentary, and I know it's a documentary, and I know it's played up a little bit, you kind of understand at least the rift with the family. I get that. And he's searching. He's still searching. I don't know what for, but he is. He's still searching out there. But I'm with Cam Hayward, who said with the Vikings, like, hey, man, it's the Steelers. You either want to play with us or you don't. What's up? What do you have to decide? Like, you're almost ready to move on. Like, look, you were great. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer, 4-time MVP. I think, listen, and I'm only speaking from experience, not with an Achilles, but with an ACL, that second year removed from the injury, like night and day. I'm telling you. Now, the Achilles is different, especially in an older guy, because it stiffens up and hard to get that flexibility back. And I was younger. I was 27 when I tore my ACL. But that second year, oh, man, you're not even thinking about it. I remember I didn't stop thinking about it until the mid to end of 98. And it happened early 97. And I had the cadaver ligament, so I was ready to go in 6 months. I worked out like crazy. And I rehabbed like a son of a gun, man. But almost the first play in pads, I felt a little tweak. I thought I ripped it again, but I didn't. I did something which took me out for a couple days, and then it took me a while to get it back, but it came back. So I think Rodgers will be good. I would give him a run for a year or two. I would look, all the other extracurricular. I'd say it to my team here. Wait till after the season. Your job is a football player. It's not to build your brand. You can do that in the offseason. You got time. I'm not saying you can't go film commercials if they want you to go make money if you want to do that. I guess doing a podcast, if you're selling it, you're making money. I don't know. I just think it's a distraction. And I think it's like how I feel about when you go out in public, when you go out and hang out with the fans, drinking and carrying on. If you're not winning, your ass should be home. If you're winning, you can go celebrate a little bit. Not too crazy. We're a little crazy, but, you can go celebrate. But if you're losing, man, your ass is home. You should be ashamed. You should be embarrassed that you're getting blocked, or you're losing, or getting your ass kicked individually. I don't know. That's my opinion anyway. Nonetheless, I like what Cam Hayward says about Aaron Rodgers. I did see a mock today. Armand Membo as high as number 3 in the draft, which dropped Will Campbell to the Jags at number 5. Listen, Will Campbell's got the right disposition for me, and he's athletic enough to play tackle or guard. And listen, I'll tell you right now, I know a lot of you out there don't think this way, but I'm telling you, you're crazy if you don't think they're going to make these guys earn it. It's the first year of a new chapter, a new regime. You don't think they're going to make these guys earn their job? They ain't giving, unless it's Trevor, or Brian Thomas Jr., they both earned it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they're the guys, but you don't think they're going to make, Ezra earn left guard? You don't think they're going to make Walker earn left tackle? You're crazy. They're going to make Anton, too. They got to make all of them. But I'm assuming they're guys that they've already brought in. McCarry, he's going to be a guard. Probably your right guard. Hainsley's going to be your center. They're the kind of guys, what I say earlier, they got that thing in common. They're nasty. They finish blocks. They get after people. That's what they want as an offensive line. I love it. We all love it. That's what we want. That's what we had back in the day, and that's what you want now. You want that nasty offensive line that leads your team, that comes off the bus, that looking like, holy cow, look at this group of monsters. Look at them coming to get us, and they're going to set a tone. And, man, if we don't bring our A game physically, we're done. We're done, man. I mean, that's the beauty of having a nasty offensive line. And then it's contagious. Then your D-line's, well, wait a minute. They're not that much bigger than me. Look at me. Look what we're doing. We're shutting down the run. We're getting off the field on third down. We're kicking ass out there, man. Look at us coming off the bus. Now it triggers down. Now the linebackers, us beat heads, we're like, yeah, but you ain't that bigger than us. So you know what? We're there too. And if we come with our game, now you got this, the DBs, they're going to feed off that. They're like, oh, the big guys are down. You kidding me? Now I can really have swag. Because why? Because I got backup. And when you got backup, you can be swag all you want out there on that football field. That's what we got to get to. And I think that's the kind of guys that they're attitude. Attitude. I say it all the time. Attitude. By the way, I have my Jacksonville Legend shirt on. I do feel silly that they call it's a Legends community. The only Legends, Tom Coughlin, Baselli, Freddie T, Jimmy. Listen, I'm an OG, though. I'm an OG. I wouldn't mind an OG shirt. You know what I mean? One of the originals. I would take that all day long. But, yeah, getting those kind of nasty type players. And I think whether you're looking at the draft, I was looking at who the offensive tackle, the top guys are, the defensive tackles. If you go Graham, I get it. I'm not going to be mad at anything. I'm not. I'm not a picker and chooser where I'm just going to see what they do and then I'll go. No, I'm going to wait to the full body of work, and I'm going to judge them on the field. Regardless of how I feel about even the draft, good or bad, it's all going to come down to, do they win? Do they win? By the way, and I'm not trying to be a curmudgeon here. I'm not. I know. I'm not. But this whole, rebuild. Now I'm here, not from the coach. I'm just hearing it from me. Like, it's clearly a rebuild. They're a little contradictory when they're like, man, this ain't a 4-win team. It's much better than that. But you're cleaning house. You're gutting. You're keeping the bones, but you're gutting everything else. So clearly they were not better than 4. I didn't think they were either. Talent-wise, sure, but not attitude-wise. Not attitude-wise. They earned everything they got last year, in my opinion. So they're bringing in. There's a turnover. I wonder what the turnover margin will be. Will it be 50%? I think I picked 25 guys stay roughly, and they flip the rest. Listen, man, this is a job, and I think sometimes you're an entertainer too, so you get carried away in that a little bit. Just don't ever forget where you came from, man. Don't ever forget how you prepare, and you'll be all right. But you look at these kind of the defensive tackles. The Kenneth Grants. There's a kid, Tyleek Williams, out of Ohio State, ranked top, I think 50, not defensive tackle, but overall. 6'3", 334 out of Ohio State, and they say he moves tremendously. On the offensive side, I saw a kid, Ursery, out of Minnesota, another big guy, 6'6", 330. They say very athletic. So look, again, deep classes, which is good for us. So I would be, look, I'd be surprised. Say we stay at 5. I got a feeling we may not stay at. I think somebody's going to come up because Carter could be there. Travis could be there. Travis Hunter could be there. You know, one of the old linemen. I mean, you know how the draft goes when like if someone jumped up at like number 3 and grabbed that kid out of Missouri, Mambu, people would be like, oh, geez, we gotta get a tackle if we need a tackle. Like, we got to go tackle. You know, you don't be surprised if he's like, oh, wait, he's gone. Oh, jeez. Now we don't go Will Camp. You know, it'll happen. It triggers. Every year, I think last year before, remember the wide receivers, there's 11, 12, 13. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, it happens every single year, it seems. So who's going to shake that up, you know? But the good thing is you don't have to force Graham right now. You don't have to force anybody. You just take the best one, right? That's a beautiful thing. So you truly can go best player available in your positions of need, which, by the way, are the 4 that I rattled off, if you think about it. Safety, you got to throw safety in there. How are the safeties this year in the draft? They're 3 in the top 32, 7 in the top 100. Not bad. Not bad. So maybe get a safety in that 3rd round. You got 2 picks. Like, hey, look, like I mentioned earlier, that mock on CBS Sportsline, you know, having guys trading up and moving all around. So you never know. You never know what can happen there. But look, I think when you look at the way they're going to build this team, you got to go up front. You got to build it up front. And they're not done yet. So to me, that would be ideal. Running back, you know, a lot of people talking about running backs. I think running back class isn't too bad. They're actually pretty good. They got 9 out of the top 150. For some reason, they went to 150 on that chart. Only 1 in the top 32, and that's Janty. Look, we need help up front. That would be a shocker if we went that route. You know what I mean? That would be ridiculous in my opinion. If we went that route, running back with Gianti out of Boise State, I don't think that would be very smart, in my opinion. You know, you got to maybe grab a back. I tell you, look, this is the thing that it's common sense. It's easy to understand, and it's no different than any business. You know, you got a new regime that comes in. Regardless of who's been paid, regardless of who's been the starter, it's now their team. And they're going to build it they want it. And some guys may fit. They may. No doubt about it. There's no doubt. But a lot of guys won't fit. And they'll be like, I don't care that the old regime gave him a little bit of money last year. So what? I mean, first of all, it's on the low end of the market. It's not going to hurt us. They're still going to be on our team, but that's just not, you know, doesn't mean that there are guys, our kind of guys. Doesn't mean you're going to cut them either. But I like I said, if you don't think that O-line's up for grabs, I think you're nuts. The only guys that probably got a starting job is a center, and they're going to make him earn it, but I would imagine because he knows the system inside and out, that's what they brought him here for, and the way he blocks, you know, so, I think McCarry's probably our right guard. Anton, look, I think Anton's got something to prove. I do. I think he's got to bounce back. He had a great rookie year. Not so great last year. You know, you got Van Lanen, you got Foster. What do you do with Foster, if anything? You know, if you draft somebody, those guys just move further down. But I would, man. I would. It's exciting to me because it can go any way. And I think they are valuable at number 5. I do. I think they'll be. I mean, think about it. What if Abdul and Hunter both slide a little? Somebody's going to want them. Somebody's going to want them. And I'm telling you right now, if Membu does go 3, there's going to be a team behind the Jags that needs a tackle that's going to say, we got to jump. And we got to jump now to get to number 4. And New England's sitting there at number 4, and they need a left tackle too. Now you're really in a quandary, right? Because then maybe you go Banks Jr. out of Texas, maybe, you know what I mean? But the top 2 guys would be gone. And now you're sitting there, Jags are at number 5, and they're sitting there going, well, wait a minute. I've got a Hunter maybe. What if Hunter's there? Because they went back-to-back tackles, you know? And then I don't want to give him up. And then number 6 is who the rate, like, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. So hopefully, look, again, if that were to happen, I'm not forcing an offensive tackle at number whatever, 7, 8. I don't think we'd get outside 10. I think we'll pick inside the top 10. I don't think we'll jump past. And you never know, but I don't think we will. It'll cost too much for that team, I think. You know, to move up a few, you could probably figure it out, but going for more than 5 or 6, I mean, it's going to cost you a lot of capital to move up. Maybe teams are desperate. You know, maybe they see a tackle out there that can't miss for us, for them. You know, it does happen, but it will be a fun way to watch a draft and see what we do. Again, back to, you know, the Texans taking all our guys. Stephon Diggs is interesting to me. Gives you speed you need speed on the other side. You know, Dale asked, would we pass on either Carter? I don't think we pass on Hunter. And you only pass on Carter if Hunter's there, I think. I don't know. I mean, Carter's he's just unbelievable. And I know corner for me, he's not number 1, but yeah, it's just best player. I mean, how do you not take that kid and make him your corner and say, hey, we'll still let you play receiver a few, 10 snaps a game. We'll surprise him. We'll have packages. I would do that, but I'd make him my shutdown corner, my sticky corner. Put him and go old school with that kid. Hey, you got the best one, whoever it is. I don't care who it is, Jamar Chase, Jeff, whoever it is. It doesn't matter. You got him one-on-one all day long. That's why we drafted you, and you're capable of doing that. I don't feel that way about the other Will. Will Johnson, I think it is, the DB out of Michigan. I don't know. He's coming off an injury. I don't know. That'd be tough. That'd be tough. But again, the only DB I think I'm grabbing at 5, if I stay at 5, is Travis Hunter, if he's even there. Carter, I agree with you. I mean, look, Abdul Carter, he's got all the tools too. I know he had an injury that he's working through, but I don't think it's severe. And he said he didn't feel it last year while he played on it. He had a very productive year. He's built just like Micah Parsons, 6'3", 250, can run, can rush the passer, got great technique, great bend, great finish. I mean, coming off the bench, moving Trayvon in, I wouldn't throw him to the Wolves on first down, but I'd have him come off the bench and move Trayvon down on those passing downs. But Stephon Diggs would to me be a great help to this team. And I don't know. I don't think you could trade. Maybe Houston will trade for Gabe Davis. I don't think, I'm being facetious. I don't think people will trade coming off the injury. He's got to prove. And this is a proving year for him, for his football life, to be that guy that can be that number 2, number 3, whatever. I don't care how you label him. Just be a productive, 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdown a game type guy that's making catches, And again, I think the whole attitude's going to be changed here in Jacksonville. And you know what? I've been talking about that. I did see where Tevin Jenkins, former Bears guard, going to the Browns. Interesting. He's a guy, listen, he's a beast too, when healthy. He came into the league with a back injury. I remember him coming to the league. He was a total beast. And look, when he's healthy, he is powerful, man. He's a big boy. He's got a mean attitude. He does like knocking people around. I've no problem with him here. I feel like the guards, at least the people we've brought in, except our last tackle, who's a bigger guy. The guards, they're not super duper big. 6'4", 300, 305. So they must have to be pretty athletic if they're going to be in that range, unless they're, super freaky and can handle 330 on their body and still move like they're, 315 or 310 or 305. That would be a great thing. But I do think, listen, man, if we could add another weapon, we'll get it. I think handling a guy, if Stephon did, maybe takes a 1-year contract, 1 year. You got to protect yourself against injury and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, nonetheless, we'll see what they do. It's going to be an exciting time. I've got to get ready for Jaguars today. I jump on the radio show, the traditional radio show, at 10 o'clock with Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and Dylan Denmark. They're all good friends of mine. Been doing it for years. It's always a fun time. Let's see. No dad bods this weekend, but next Saturday night. Hopefully my original song will be ready to go next week, which I've been listening to it a ton, man. I don't know. We'll see. Even if it's just a great memoir towards my father, it'll be worth it. And it always is. No doubt about that. Make sure you check out TommyMac.net. Please check out all of Team Tommy Mac. They're always there for you when you need them. Whether you got to get out of jail, it happens. You need new flooring. You get hurt. You need some food, right? You need some financial help. With a CFO type business, a place to stay, some hot sauces, hauling, junk removal, haulers, whatever you need. Code Ninjas, get your kids right. They had a great spring break camp. They got great summer camps. Go to codeninjas.com. Commercial real estate, you kidding me? Absolutely. We all need some of that. Get it at Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, and any kind of protection, security, risk management with the Baracus Group. Yes, named after B.A. Baracus. Go check them out at TommyMac.net. That'll do it for me. Hope you have a great weekend. I lost my voice somehow. I don't know what happened to it. But I hope I was singing earlier in the car. That might have done it. But I hope you enjoy the rest of March Madness for the weekend. Should be some great games. Good luck to your teams. And have a great weekend. And hope you stay safe out there. Hope you stay good. And we'll see you next time right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac. Peace and love, everybody. Have a great weekend.